This is a video about the KTNNKG FS2201 30A. This is a remote controlled outlet. It comes with a remote that claims to have a range of between 500 and 1,000 meters, which seems pretty wild, but well, I only need it to go about 50 feet. This thing uses a 9-volt battery, which is installed in a really weird way. It just has a couple of springs. Make sure that I got that in right. The remote is not marked. These marks I added. The top button is on, the bottom button is off, and on the side there's an off and on switch. I got this off Amazon, and it seems that a lot of people who bought this are too dumb to read the instructions or to look at the remote. It ships with it usually in the off position, and they don't seem to know to turn it on. The unit itself, and why I got it, is I needed to control an air conditioner in my shed, and I had done a video of my old shed where I had set up something that just used a push button in my house. You pushed it to turn it on, and if you wanted to turn it off, you had to go out to the shed and turn it off. And that worked pretty well. It also, I had a 30 amp relay in it. I ran into a bunch of trouble when trying to find something like this, because almost all of these remote outlets are basically designed for turning on lights, turning on and off lights, and very small motors. The specs for them often have information like inductive load, and it'll have a very low amperage rating, or it'll only have a rating that's expressed in horsepower, which, you know, is kind of difficult for most people to understand. And basically what it means is that you can't, with a lot of these units, you cannot switch a motor with them, because apparently the relay inside will have trouble turning it off due to something about the way that inductive loads work. So you have to find a device with a relay that can handle higher loads. And this one claims in the specs on Amazon somewhere that it can handle, I think it was 1.5 horsepower, which comes out to a little over 1,000 watts. Their webpage, which is KTNNKG.com, doesn't give much better specs. It says that it will work with devices that are under 2,200 watts in the US or 4,400 watts in Europe. The problem is that where they sell them, it doesn't make it clear. I mean, when you say that this thing can handle 30 amps, you have to understand that this is not a 30 amp outlet. This is not 30 amp wiring. I don't know if it's marked on here, but judging from the size of it, I would bet that this isn't much higher than 15 amp wiring, and I actually think it's even less than that. I would be very careful about what you hook this thing up to. Definitely wouldn't want to hook it up to a constant load of 15 amps. It might overheat this wire. I need it for something that's 9 amps. It's just that it has an inductive load, and I don't know what that load is, because I don't know what size the motors are inside the air conditioner. So I got something that should be technically overkill. So anyways, let's open this up and see what's in it. And that's basically what I expected to find, is a very high amp, heavy duty relay in it. It's nice to see that if I wanted to, it has the same footprint as some other relays I have that are also 30 amps, but have spade connectors, so if I wanted to, I could hook this up. Oh yeah, this is definitely not 15 amp wiring. Yeah, that is not 15 amp wiring. I can't read the specs on it. I might actually replace that with actual 15 amp wiring. I mean, yeah, this is, yeah. Anyways, I'm going to put this thing back together, and then I'm going to install it and show you how it works. Okay, I was going to show this connected up to the unit and then show its operation, but when I actually went to look, or went and looked at it carefully, I noticed that, like I said, the wiring was not 15 amps. This is not a 15 amp power cable. I also found out that line and neutral were reversed on this side, and they had a jumper wire going from ground on this side to ground on this side because they're not connected. And this is the wire that it was. This is an actual 14 gauge 15 amp wire. So as you can see, these two aren't even close. I think this is yeah, this is 18 AWG. I'd have to look up what amp rating that is, but this was not 15 amps. It's now has proper 15 amp cables on it. All right, now I'm going to hook it up to the device. Okay, so it's plugged into power, and the air conditioner is plugged into it, and I forgot. Okay, so since I unplugged it from the wall, my air conditioner was on and in cooling mode. So when I turn this on, the air conditioner should turn on in cooling mode. Now this air conditioner, when you first turn it on, it waits 3 minutes before it engages the compressor. So it's just going to turn on. Okay, so it's on, and this is doing what I want. So there you go, it works. I'm going to test it remotely, and I'll just put in the screen if it works from the distance that is my room to out here. That's it. Thanks for watching.